let's talk about a type of factoring where we undo double distribution. Again, this is another type of factoring where we're breaking apart an expression into its pieces. So lots of times when we do double distribution, we end up with a trinomial. So for example, if I had 5x minus 2 times 2x plus 3, for example, and I wanted to expand this or to multiply it out. Sometimes we call that simplifying. I would say the first times the first, 5x times 3, negative 2 times 2x, negative 2 times 3. Basically, you're just doing double distribution. You just want to multiply everything times everything. 5x is times both of those terms, negative 2 times both of those terms. We often have a like term that ends up being able to be combined like terms, and there would be my trinomial. Okay? So, that wasn't too bad, but often you're given a trinomial and asked to factor, which means you have to go backwards to this version. That can be a little trickier. And so often students just say, well, how do you do this? And I say, really, it's educated guessing and checking. Now, by educated guessing and checking, what you do is you have to realize the process of double distribution. Say, oh, I got 10x squared from multiplying 5x times 2x. Okay? So if I want to go backwards, I want to think of the things that multiply to equal 10x squared, the factors of 10x squared. That would either be 1x and 10x or 2x and 5x. Right? So obviously we know the end of the story. We know that 5x and 2x worked. Okay? Then you look and think, last term. Well, where did that last term come from? Well, I know from when I did my double distribution that negative 6 came from negative 2 times 3. So I know that those two terms have to be factors of negative 6. They have to multiply to equal negative 6. Well, where did that 11x come from? Well, that 11x came from my combining the two middle terms. And these terms I got from multiplying the 5x times the 3 and from multiplying the negative 2 and the 2x. So by educated guessing and checking, we take the factors of the first term, we take the factors of the last term, and we see which combination will produce our middle term. Sometimes you have to try a couple different combinations before you'll get something that works. So let's try one. Let's try 3x squared plus 23 plus 14. And again, I want to factor this. I want to break it down into its factors. So, I want to think to myself, what are the factors of 3x squared? Well, lucky for me, I don't have lots of options. The most obvious options would be x times 3x. So I can put a 3x here and an x here. Doesn't matter where I put the 3x and the x. No, I could put the x here and the 3x here. It doesn't matter. All right, now, to figure out what goes here, I need to look at that 14. And I want to think of the factors, the things that multiply together to give me 14. Well, that could be 1 times 14 or 2 times 7. Are there any others? No. Now, a positive 14, I could either multiply 2 negatives or 2 positives. So, I do a little Sherlock Holmesing here, a little investigating, and I see, oh, everything's addition. So, I think that my factors are going to be both positive. Now, am I going to use a 1 and a 14 or a 2 and a 7? I don't know. I don't know. Just start with 1. I'm going to start with the 2 and the 7 just for fun. Okay? Now, does it matter where I put the 7 and where I put the 2? Yes, it does. One way will work. The other way will not work. So let's just plunk the 7 down here and the 2 down here and see if that's going to work. Well, how do we know if it's going to work? by multiplying it out. So 3x times x, that gives me my 3x squared. 3x times 2, that's going to give me a 6x. Okay? 7 times x, that's going to give me a 7x. And those have to combine to give me a 23. Okay, what am I missing there? I'm missing an x. Why didn't any of you tell me I was missing an x there this whole time? Oh my goodness. Okay, well I'm putting it in there now. So, does the 6x and the 7x give me a 23x? No, it does not. This did not work. So, do I just start from scratch? No, don't start from scratch. Instead, take that and tweak your factors slightly and say, okay, the 7 didn't work there, so let's put the 7 here. The 2 didn't work there, so let's put the 2 there. I'm still feeling pretty confident about my plus and my plus. Let's see if that's going to work. 3x times x, 3x squared. Obviously 2 times 7 gives me 14. The middle term is the tricky part. 3x times 7, that's going to give me a plus 21x. 2 times x, that gives me a plus 2x. 21x plus 2x, yay, 23x. I was successful. I was successful. This guy works. Those would be the factors of that trinomial. You see how that works? All right, let's try another one. Let's try another one. Let's try 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. This one shouldn't be too bad. I've remembered my x this time. Okay, boom, boom. Factors of 2x squared. What multiplies to equal 2x squared? Well, a 2x and an x do. Just plunk them down wherever. Go to your last term. What multiplies to equal a negative 5? Well, either a negative 1 and a positive 5 or a 1 and a negative 5. All right. I'm just going to throw them in. Let's just throw them in. Let's throw a 5 there and a 1 there. I'm not going to worry about the signs yet. All right. 2x times x, 2x squared. I'm good. 2x times 1 is a 2x and a 5x. Oh, wait a minute. A 2x and a 5x will work as long as my 5x is negative and my 2x is positive. Let's see if that's going to work. Let's see. To make my 5x negative, this guy has to be a negative, and this needs to be a positive to give me a positive 2x. Let's just make sure. 2x times 1, negative 5 times x. Okay. Does this give me my last term, negative 5 times 1? Yes! Boom! My first try worked. Isn't that nice? So that would be the fully factored form of this trinomial. Guess and check. Educated guess and check. Let's try one more. Isn't this fun? I love this stuff. It just doesn't get better than factoring. Well, it does, but anyway. Okay, so we look at this, and right away I'm thinking, ooh, 4x squared, that could either be a 2x times a 2x or a 1x times a 4x. Shucks, I'm going to have to try a few things. The 7, fortunately 7 is prime, but it's a negative, so it could either be a negative 1 and a positive 7 or a 1 and a negative 7. I don't know. Just dive in. Let's throw in a 2x and a 2x. Let's throw in a 1 and a 7. Let's just boldly dive in. So often people are like looking and thinking, I don't know where to begin. Who cares? Just dive in. Try something. Let's look and see what I get when I multiply those together. I get a 14x and a 2x. I'm not seeing a 27. Should I abandon the 2x's? No. Don't abandon the 2x's yet. You know that didn't work. But, oh wait. I was was going to say we should switch the 7 and the 1, but isn't that the same as this? Yeah, look, because those are two x's. So, all right, so I'm pretty sure that my two x's aren't going to work. How nice. All right, so 2x is out. I'm going to go with the 4x and the 1x. All right, how are we so far? Let's throw in the 7, throw in the 1. Multiply, see what we're going to get. That's a 4x, this is a 7x. Is any combination of those going to give me a 27? I don't think so. Oh my gosh. All right, this better work. Otherwise, we're in big trouble. Let's try this. 4x times 7, 28x. Ooh, I'm feeling hopeful. 1 times x, 1x. Oh, I'm feeling good about this option. 28x and 1x, that's going to give me a 27x as long as my 28 is positive and my 1 is negative. But listen, I knew I wanted the signs to be positive and negative, so that works out fine. To get a positive 28x, this 7 needs to be positive. To get a negative 1x, that 1 needs to be negative. I think that's going to work. Let me just rewrite it up here. 4x times x, 4x squared. 4x times 7, 28x. Minus 1x, there's your 27x. Negative 1 times 7, negative 7. And there was much rejoicing. You have factored that trinomial. Isn't that fun? Excellent. The way to get good at factoring, like most things, is just to do a lot of it. Practice a lot of factoring, and it will become second nature. All right, have fun.